Welcome to Mary Alice.
What did you do?
We are a Desperate Housewives recap podcast with me, Erin McGee.
And me, Jakub Tanzi. Two best friends breaking down each episode until we answer the ultimate question, Mary Alice, what did you do?
Unless, of course, we have finished season 1, in which case, insert new mystery here.
Yes, there's a lot to unpack on Wisteria Lane.
Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
So get comfortable and let's get into this week's episode. Hello.
Hello, handsome. How are you?
I'm good. We are not in the same room.
No, we're distant. We're in a long distance relationship now. I'm actually really worried about us. So this is our first ever time doing a recording not in the same room. Yes, thank you very much. And yeah, I'm a bit concerned. What if I never see you in human form ever again?
It's deeply upsetting to think about. I lay awake at night wondering when the next time I'll see you with my own two eyes is.
I hate when you say things like that to me because you're being sarcastic and actually I hear, wow, he understands, he gets it, he feels the same way I do. How have you been?
I've been fabulous. I went to London last weekend. I went to the Mighty Hoopla. For those of you who don't know, it's a music festival that is very much targeted for the gays.
It's gay tea in the park.
It's gay tea in the park. And the last time I went to a music festival was Tea in the Park in 2012. So it's been about 14 years since I've been to a music festival, which is almost half my life ago. And that makes me feel old.
And we can legally drink now.
Woo! But you still have to sneak stuff into the festival regardless.
And did you?
I didn't, but certainly plenty other people did that gave me access. So I was not concerned.
I was trying to be a policeman right there, wasn't I?
Trying to catch me out. Then you're going to submit this recording to the police.
I already am wearing, you can't tell because of this cardigan, but I'm wearing a wire.
There's many wires kicking about right now.
There's so many wires.
Just a quick FYI, like we're struggling with the tech, you guys. This is the first time we've done remote. I went over to Erin's last night to try and sort it. We're struggling. So if the audio sounds bad, bear with us because we need some time to figure it out. If we weren't recording today with this questionable audio, there would be no episode next week. So,
yes.
Take it or leave it.
And if you would like somebody to blame for that, and you can just, sorry, my cat's going crazy. If you would like someone to blame for that, please blame my great grandma's sister Teresa, who is 96 years old because she fell and broke her hip. And actually, that really derailed our double record.
Yeah.
Come on, Tessie, do better.
So, you know where to send your hate mail.
Okay, you want to send your hate mail to the Royal Infirmary at Edinburgh Hospital. Ward number, no.
Oh my goodness. But yes, I had such an excellent time in London.
Yeah.
Usually I'm like, London. I had such a great time. It was, first of all, it was so jarring to go from Edinburgh to an environment where it's literally gays as far as the eye can see. Just a sea of homosexuals. I can't remember the last time I was in an environment like that. It was very lovely. I was there for two reasons. I was there for Cascada.
Yes.
And I was there for Meredith Marks of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yes.
Now, Cascada was first in the lineup. And that stressed me out.
That would have spun me.
Because this is day 2 of the festival. I was only there for day 2. And I thought, everyone's going to be hungover. No one's going to want to go early for day 2. And then I realized, okay, I guess she's early in the lineup because they want to get people in the door early, which makes sense. But I went along to this like pre-drinks thing at like 11 a.m. And I was I went down with some friends who are much more familiar with London. They have a community in London. So they were introducing me to all of their friends. And I was very much the passenger. So I'm not going to be the one to be like, right, come on, let's go. It's Cascada time. I was very much resigned to the fact that I might just dip out early, go to the festival myself, see Cascada, Have a nice
You're
time.
rocking back and forward though. Like,
Well, I warned my friend. I was like, look, I'm going to stay for a drink and then I'll probably just head out because I'm not going to push everyone to leave. Fine, fair.
Yeah.
And then we got there and someone was like to the host person there, oh, so what's the plan? And they were like, oh, well, we've got to see Cascada. And I was like, oh.
Yes.
And then everybody was just so like on the same page of like, Cascada, guys, we've got to leave in 10 minutes. We've got to leave in 5 minutes. We've got to leave in 30 seconds. Come on. And I was just like, oh my God, I found my people. I was so overwhelmed with joy.
But also now we've got the horrible thing, right? And maybe I'm a pessimist. But no matter what happens now, if we go next year, there'll be a part of you that's like, wasn't as good as last year.
Depends on
Because
the
you
lineup.
have the like, you've got the rose-colored glasses on. Unless the lineup is Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Pussycat Dolls, Sugar
Avril
Babes,
Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne, Sugar Babes with Heidi, Sugar Babes without Heidi, Sugar Babes with Heidi and Siobhan.
Oh my God, they have a different lineup at each stage, so you can go to your favorite Sugar Babes lineup.
They change, and every transition is round. Round, baby. And it alternates.
Do you think they would ever do like a mega Sugar Babes concert with every Sugar Babe ever? I know they won't.
Absolutely not.
But like, just think how
Absolutely
much
not.
money people would pay to go to that.
I think it would be like
70
do you know upwards of £30. Like maybe even a tenner per babe.
You can like add babes to cart.
But also, was it Maggie Hoopla that Heidi was there?
Yeah, I
And-
freaking missed it.
And the vocals were not. Heidi was there, but the vocals were there.
I'm sorry, I just spat all over my laptop.
And I love Heidi. I genuinely think
Same. She's my favorite
Like-
babe.
I'm obsessed with her. We have been very like, oh, I wish Heidi was here on many occasions. We've seen Sugar Babes not only in general but together more times than most people have. I think we've spent more time with the original lineup of the Sugar Babes than they have spent with the other additional Sugar Babes that came later on. Okay. The vocals weren't there, Heidi. The vocals had checked out. The vocals didn't make the flight.
She's not performed in like 7 years or something.
Yes.
Give her a break.
And that was not the time. And I just know somewhere Siobhan was giggling and kicking her little feet and going, oh, is that who you wanted back, guys? Oh, is that who you were shouting and chanting, where the fuck is Heidi for? Is this your hero? And you know the bit in Sleeping Beauty where she's like, is this your princess?
Fantastic.
Anyway, I got a new rug.
And it is beautiful. And I absolutely definitely noticed it.
Yeah, I was so excited and told Rory, Jakub's going to have so many things to say about this rug. Jakub did not notice the rug. Jakub was worried about our tag. He cared about nothing else. But yeah, new rug, new job. I have a new job. It's financy. Woo! I'm very intimidated by it, but I like a challenge. And I'm getting very familiar with Excel and reports and numbers.
Love that for you. Couldn't be me.
Yeah. And the only other thing that's happened to me is I had a bridal party meeting a couple weeks ago. I was asked to be a bridesmaid of a friend of the pod, Dion. And she's so chic. She really is. So we showed up, and so first of all, we got a picture invite. Chic. We showed up, there was a presentation. Chic. We spoke colour palettes. She'd given us, she'd made little bouquets for us as favours. There was pictures of us. There was beautiful cocktails there. There was a spread. She's a very good host. And I just felt so safe.
Isn't that
It was
so lovely?
It was wonderful. I'm so excited to be a bridesmaid. And I've been a bridesmaid before. Hopefully I will be a bridesmaid again. I'm really excited for this one because Dion and I have very similar taste, and she won't mind me saying this. This is my test run.
Oh, yeah. You're taking notes, honey.
I'm
You're
taking notes.
bookmarking those caterers, suppliers.
Oh, I was a bit worried at first when she was showing me her stuff because I went, oh, that's kind of the colour scheme I was like, and she went, why would I care about that? Why would I care if you had the same thing
That's
as
a
me?
friend. The amount
love
of
her.
like Reddit stories you read of like wedding drama, and it's like people need to calm. So like
She
I love
picked
that energy
aubergine and plum, and she knew they were my colours. But I get it because I think weddings, I might have said this to you before, and I might have said this on a pod before, but weddings are one of the few times women are allowed to be excited about projects and about hobbies. It's like culturally, societally.
Oh, okay.
You're allowed to go all in. You're allowed to go fantasy football league. You're allowed to act crazy, and people will be like, that's her passion. She's getting married.
Her whole life's been leading up to this singular moment.
To this one moment. And I went to, with the same friend, I went to a kind of bridal event. So it was where they had skin people there who basically were like, hey, you need filler. Your dad needs filler. Your mum needs filler. Fine. And they were showing us fancy jewelry, and there were fancy dresses there, and there were photographers, and they were showing us cakes that like defied the laws of physics. And every single thing I looked at, I just heard faintly in the background, you can't afford this. You can't afford this. I'd go to touch something. You can't afford this. Will we get into this episode?
Yeah, it's not the best
episode.
We should.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I feel really bad that I think for most of season 2 now, my take has been, it's fine.
I watched it again this morning, and that's the third time I've watched it because I did my notes so long ago for it now. And I was like, I need a refresher. And I'm like, watching Lynette's storyline in this episode for a third time, I was like, I can't think of anything worse to do with my morning.
I saw her storyline when it's about breasts. Guess Jakub's checking out for this one. I guess
you can just recap that whole arc. That would be fabulous. I actually literally don't remember what happened. Zoned out.
I thought I'm going to be a load-bearing co-host during this arc.
I'm on the tech support. You're on the breast.
Yeah.
Because you know about boobs and milk and stuff, to quote our friend Ed.
Friend of the pod, Ed. Why have we never reached out to
Fred?
Ed? Is it Fred?
Oh my God, no, you're right.
Let me make a note of that.
Yeah, because his episode numbers are limited.
Sorry, Control Z. I did it as a bit of a joke and I deleted my notes.
As in, like, you closed the window, or?
No, I got a blank page, but it's fine. We're all back.
You got the back? Okay. Cool. Right, so let's get into this recap. This is 2x17. Could I ever leave you?
This is very funny to me because that's not what I have as the title. I have Could I Leave You? Are you projecting?
Let's check this. I did it so long ago.
We've got our first fact check, everyone. Stay tuned. At this point, I think we are so inconsistent with either bang on or so far away that I'm not even confident the show is called Desperate Housewives anymore.
No, you were right.
Said, could you ever leave me? Intense.
Calling all desperados.
Are you enjoying the pod?
Want to access our episodes early and support Erin and I to keep the show running?
Well, now you can.
Over at patreon.com/modded, you can support the show for as little as £3 a month.
Why, Jakub, that's less than the price of the coffees that keep us coherent during records.
Truly, no joke. You can get a shout out from us here, access episodes a whole day earlier than everyone else, and even get access to occasional bonus watch along episodes. Ooh. We're aiming for monthly.
But no pressure. Seriously.
We love you either way.
It's just there if you're looking for a way to show your appreciation and help us keep doing what we do.
Want to support the show for free? Tell a friend.
Tell your mother.
Tell your aunt who you know loves Desperate Housewives.
Tell your therapist.
Tell your ex-boyfriend.
No, do not break no contact. But tell anyone who might enjoy our ramblings.
And leaving a review helps more than you know.
We love you, desperados.
That's patreon.com/modded. MAWDYD.
Now, back to the episode.
Mary Alice voiceover.
voiceover.
Whoop whoop. Tells us. What a demanding shopper Gaby has been, and that she always expects the best. And we see a montage of some of her expensive fashion deliveries. Today, though, her expectations will be put to the test as she is shopping for a baby. And Gaby is not satisfied with the quality of the manufacturer. And with this,
so
we
creepy.
see Gaby and Carlos answer the door to a potential birth mother that their dodgy adoption guy has found. And she's about as TV ugly as you can expect, really. She reminds me of, in Mean Girls at the MacLeod's tournament, and there's that girl with the snaggletooth and the
Yes.
It kind of, that's the vibe they're going for.
Absolutely. God forbid a woman have a unibrow. Let her be.
Bring it back. Bring back the unibrow, guys.
And I feel awful that the gag is that this is not someone who Gaby would deem as conventionally attractive. And that's kind of, isn't that funny that let's all just laugh at someone because Gaby thinks they're ugly? Like, I don't like it.
I mean, I was laughing, but
I can hear an ambulance from your place. How the turntables turned.
Yeah, we're figuring out the kinks. But you know what, though? It's not funny, but I do buy it for Gaby's character.
Oh, I buy it. Yeah,
so,
it makes sense.
So inside, we see Carlos is buzzing while Gaby is really putting all her energy into forcing a polite smile. Low-key, she looks like she's dissociating. And quite frankly, I don't believe Carlos isn't more shallow than this.
I think his whole thing is that he's so desperate for a baby, but there is a part of me that agrees with you that thinks he's wanting her to double. He doesn't have to filter people out because he knows Gaby's going to do it and he can still look like the good guy.
And we'll get there. So Gaby pulls Carlos aside, telling him they need to find someone else. And Carlos is resistant to this. But ultimately, Gaby does get in his head because once we're back inside, we see Carlos slowly get more and more uncomfortable until we hard cut to them sending the woman on her way in a car. And Gaby knew, as Mary Alice tells us, that some purchases can't be returned. Which is true. And I would hope in terms of babies that she's going to commit to the one that she gets in the end.
But why is Gaby being team eugenics so casually a storyline on this show?
At one point when they're talking outside, Carlos says, "I want a baby. Any baby." And it really sounds like he's going to steal a child in that moment.
I think, well, let's get into it. Side conspiracy I've just thought of in this very moment that makes no sense. Buckle in. Maybe this is why he was so interested in Lynette, because of how fertile she is. She's had so many kids. Maybe this is why he was like, I'm going to have an affair with her. There's
Not
no
trying
way.
To baby trap Lynette.
I think, and also she's successful.
She's been baby trapped enough by Tom.
Yeah, so Carlos knows she's good for it. Carlos was trying to baby trap Lynette. Episode title. That way too long for an episode title. But also, did you all like our episode title for Alicia as a professional rollerblader? Because that made no sense, but I really enjoy it.
With that one, but it was a good time.
I will say that you are all very lucky that unethical adoption cannot be Monster of the Week 2 weeks in a row. Let me tell you that much for free, because this episode's a doozy.
Yeah, maybe I'll loop that back in. We're recording this at the end of the episode. You're hearing it in the past. You'll understand why that's the theme song when you get to the end.
Mary Alice, follow-up voiceover. At 6:10 a.m., Deanna Proves went into premature labor and gave birth to what eventually would be an incredibly attractive baby boy.
You missed out, Gaby. You missed out.
I like this for two reasons. One, I'm okay with Mary Alice being shady. She's dead. She can say what she wants. How else is she supposed to pass her time, bar judging? But also, we've had a bit of jokes at this woman's expense and this idea of her having this unattractive child. I like that Mary Alice clarifies, by the way, you missed out on something good. And also because of where the storyline goes, she very much did miss out on something good. She did. Anyway, here we go. We see a doctor cutting the umbilical cord. Mary Alice says, at the exact same moment, Dr. Ron McCready entered the private room of Susan Meyer with every intention of severing their connection.
Just a recap of Jim Ron's name in case we've all forgotten.
Jim Ron, who is like, who is Mike? Because the last time we saw him, Susan was going under. She said she loved Mike. He confronts Susan. Susan says she doesn't even know a Mike. But Jim Ron is correct because everybody knows a Mike. In fact, when he said it, I thought, you know what? Yes, I know several Mikes. In fact, do you?
I know Mike's.
I know Mike's.
Oh, yeah. You hit me up if you need a mic.
That's what we always say about Jakub, by the way, folks. If you need a mic, you hit him up.
I'm notorious for it. Right.
I'm sorry. Okay, so this is the bit that we're usually at mentally when we hit record. So this is good timing.
Yeah.
So Jim Ron ups the ante with a, so who's the guy you're married to then? And Susan says, damn that nurse Heisel. It's so weird to watch this show and dislike Susan so much, but enjoy Terry Hatcher's performance as Susan so much. It's so
Very
conflicting because this is one of those where I laugh and then go, oh, Susan.
She's so exhausting in this episode. I can't. They both are, quite frankly.
Oh, yes. So Susan confirms the whole health insurance fraud debacle. Susan's solution? Come over for a family dinner. Meet my current husband. You'll see that it's a friendship vibe. And Susan swears she's going to divorce Carl and is convincing. Less so when Jim Ron says, you're not in love with anybody named Mike. And she says, sure.
Jim Ron's character has been so contradictory through the whole show, and there's no world in which anyone believes Susan's obvious lie at this moment. He must be so in love with her to turn that many blind eyes. I just can't with him.
This is why I think he'll genuinely end up with someone like Nurse Heisel, because he will ignore the red flags.
Ignore the red flags, yeah
exactly.
100%. So we see Gaby and Bree visiting Susan, but we'll circle back to their chat later in Gaby's arc. What matters here is that Carl comes in and pulls Susan, still recovering in a wheelchair, aside for a chat. Carl refers to Susan as baby as he wheels her away, which kind of shocks Bree and Gaby, who, once they leave the room, question when Susan and Carl stopped hating each other. Bree notes that before Mike came along, she always assumed that they'd get back together. She's known Susan longer than Gaby, and so she's seen the chemistry that they have more than Gaby has, which we as the audience are all very familiar with. Susan tells Carl to come to dinner with her and Jim Ron so he can see there's nothing between them because he cheated on her, so he owes her for the rest of his life. Fair. I get it.
I thought that was very valid.
Yeah, and Carl gets it because he was just like, okay. She also reveals the whole story of saying I love Mike to Jim Ron before surgery and lying about knowing a Mike, blah, blah, blah. So Carl's also in the know now. And then returning Susan to the girls, Carl kisses her on her on the forehead as he says goodbye, which everyone clocks, and it just feels a little awkward.
I think it's nice hearing Bree saying that she always assumed that Susan and Carl would get back together. And I like this piece of information, which is Gaby's going, are you crazy? And Bree's saying, you don't remember what they were like before. She was there. She saw how friendly they were, how playful they were, how fun they were together, how passionate they were. And Bree ships it a little bit, and so do I a little bit. There's this, it's nice to hear how they were before the infidelity.
Yeah.
We're at the dinner. It's beautiful. Jim Ron is saying he didn't expect to have so much fun with his girlfriend and her husband. Jim Ron's got jokes this episode. Also,
he's got nothing on Funny Mike, though. That's all I'm saying.
Nothing on Funny Mike. I personally, throughout this episode, despite seeing it multiple times, kept forgetting that Susan is in a wheelchair. So there's a moment where she goes to get up and he's like, no, you're in a wheelchair. And I gasped. Anyway, Carl goes into the kitchen, sees the two of them together, and Carl's stressed. He's a stressed out man. And he has because he's of Susan's bad cooking, I assume, still an appetite. But this appetite is for chaos. And this cannot be satiated. So Carl looks through the window, sees Mike's house, and forms the plan. He gets in on those pipes. He whacks them, and he causes a leak. So Jim Ron approaches and notices the leaky pipes. Carl suggests, this is so bad. You should go see the plumber across the street. Grey door. His name is Delfino. Which is really funny after I made that comment about Mike answering the phone going, Delfino. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he does go by Delfino.
I want him to answer the door like that, but equally as aggressively like, Delfino.
Do you think he's like that because people know several Mikes? And he's just trying to do...
See, the writers knew what they were doing, guys. This is the answers we've been waiting for.
Whoa. Take that back. Take that back. We've not finished the episode yet. So, Susan comes into the kitchen, horrified, because she sees that Jim Ron is approaching Mike's house. And Carl does a very unbelievable performance of, oh no, I didn't even think, I just thought, oh my God. And Susan is wheeling to intervene. She's trying to open the door. She doesn't make it. She's struggling. And Carl is not helping her open the door, which I really enjoyed too.
So at Mike's, Jim Ron introduces himself to Mike, who is clearly confused as to why he's speaking to him at all. Mike does mention his name in passing, which helps Jim Ron put the pieces together, which he probably already had in his head. But at this point, it's like, okay, I can't lie to myself anymore.
Exactly. But can I say the actor who plays Jim Ron does a phenomenal job, because the double take he does when he says, "You can call me Mike," is so funny. I looped it. He just kind of does like a...
we'll get like a little looping clip to post on Instagram, maybe.
You can loop my fringe doing that as well.
So the final nail in the coffin is when Mike, who is clearly also trying to sabotage this dinner, he's decided, I guess, tells Jim, or wonders aloud why Susan hadn't told Jim Ron that they had previously dated. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Susan is still comically trying to rush over in her chair and stop this disaster from unfolding any further. Jim Ron goes out to confront Susan on the street. She tries to stop him from walking away, and he accidentally knocks Susan over, prompting Mike to run out and square up to Jim Ron. And eventually Jim Ron starts a physical fight with Mike. It's all very silly. But finally...
It's so silly.
Yeah. But finally, Jim Ron realizes how much time he's wasted, which is so true and fair, and leaves. And Susan... doesn't really, she has the same energy as the lie she told about being in love with a Mike, the same energy Carl had about not realizing he sent Jim Ron over to the plumber. She clearly doesn't care that he's leaving.
No, also, I'm sorry, Terry Hatcher. She usually does incredible at physical comedy. When her wheelchair hits the curb, she fully walks out that chair. They should have used a different take.
Or a stunt double.
I was decked at Carl eating the leftovers from the window.
Yes,
watching it all.
Oh my God, there's a clip in the Beverly Hills Housewives where there's a huge fight happening outside of Aileen Davis's house, and you can see her husband looking through the garage window in the background, just like peeking in on the drama, and it had that exact energy.
It's so good. And then also, another note that I had, don't know if you picked up on this, Jakub, happy Pride. Mike and Jim Ron looked like they were going to kiss when they were face to face. And I'm not kidding. I will show you. Look at the clip again when you're doing the screenshots. Okay. Jim Ron looks at his lips.
And then he licks them.
And I just heard really quietly in my head, thunder! No, 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 no. I mean, it's going down. Something gay is happening.
It's going down. It's going timber.
Exactly. But yeah, bye, Jim Ron. We barely knew thee. We barely cared. Mike comes in, he's been let in by Julie, and Mike is saying that he feels awful about everything that's happened. Susan said that he shouldn't have beaten up the only guy who's interested in her, which I think is interesting because that's making it sound like she's settled for Jim Ron. I mean, we know she has, but it doesn't seem like Susan knows she has. Susan is coy about why Dr. Ron and her fell out, saying she said something upsetting to him. Julie then comes in. Dr. Ron is finally returning her calls, and Susan needs to take it. Mike says they can talk about it later, but Susan says, what's the point?
It is kind of sad because it's like, oh, Susan, why are you denying yourself this in when you clearly want it, you know?
I think what's interesting, I need to stop saying I think what's interesting, but lots of interesting things happen. She doesn't know he visited her in the hospital.
That's true. That's true.
She doesn't know he brought flowers. She's thinking, I think there's a part of her that's going, why can't you just let me go?
Yeah.
Because you clearly don't want to be with me. Whereas he still has feelings for her and she doesn't know that yet.
Yeah. I also like that Julie also won't call Jim Ron by his government name.
She thinks his name is Dr. Ron.
I mean, she can only go by what her mother tells her.
Exactly. She's like, it might be Jim. It might be, I don't know. Also, Julie is clearly unattached to the situation and to Jim Ron.
Big time. Big time.
There's no scene of her going, can I call you Dad? Like, we're not getting that anytime soon. We are at Bree's weekly Friday AA meeting, and this will mean nothing to you, but Mr. Johnson from Abbott Elementary, one of my favourite TV shows, is the guy who is saying, oh, I woke up in my own vomit. I was very excited to see him. I shouted Rory through because Rory has a little bit of facial blindness going, do you know who that is? And he usually does it, but straight away, Mr. Johnson, what's he doing there? So it's quite common, is my understanding, in AA to speak about your low points, your rock bottom, to share that way. Bree decides not to share. She is crocheting and is using this as, I would say, an arts and crafts club. It's painfully obvious that she is still very much in denial. And how did you write this? I'd say the host of the AA meeting confronts her while she's cleaning up.
I think facilitator I put.
Facilitator, yeah. He asks how long she has been sober. She is unsure. And he calls her out immediately. I do think that places like AA can offer more transparency and more directness than people are usually used to. So I wasn't too surprised by him confronting her this way. He says, is somebody still drinking? And she tells her she basically says the whole shtick, you know, I'm not actually an alcoholic. I don't have a problem. My son is suing me, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole thing. And he clearly isn't falling for it. But instead of saying you do have a problem, where Bree would get defensive, he instead just gives her an opportunity and says, if you ever need anything, just take my card. Bree then says a great line, which is, I'm not like you people. I just don't have a compulsive personality. Well, she is lining up all of the napkins and cleaning up after the meeting.
When the camera panned down to show the perfectly organized coffee table, I cackled on the bus. It was so funny. But also what we were saying before about people with addictive personalities and people who are facing addiction problems. I'm not like you people. Addicts, when the problem with being addicted to something is you think that you're not like everybody else who's addicted to it. You think you're smarter than everybody else. You think you're doing it better than everyone else. You think you're doing it in a way that's not a problem. And you're not. Also, the guy, the facilitator, looks like one of the kids from Hanson just grown up. Sure, I have very vague memories of Hanson.
Look it up right now. Look it up right now. Prove to me that I'm funny.
Also, low-key into the facilitator.
Really?
Low-key. Not like, oh my God. But I'm just like, okay. Oh yeah, I see it. I think
mainly the fact that man is blonde means I can't even see him. I can't even picture his face. He is meaningless to me. Yeah. What I'm going to see if I can find, I'm on the wiki right now, what his character is. Peter. He's Peter McMillan. Great Desperate Housewives name. Actor Lee Tergesen. This might seem like nothing, but I bet you he's going to be in something insane. He just has that look about him of, oh, you're in. Yes, I know that face. How do I know him? Oh, okay. He's in Oz, which was a really, really weird TV series about a prison. And guess who was in it? Boyd from From with him. Oh. We also have him in. Genuinely, I know this is so dumb. This is my favorite part of the podcast, is getting these random background actors and saying what they also have done and what they also were in. He was in Chicago PD. He was in The Good Fight, because everybody who's on Desperate Housewives has been in The Good Fight. He was Mr. Pesner. He's also in The Purge TV series.
Oh, that was a great show.
What a CV this man has as well. I mean, he's no Jane Lynch, but he's close. Bree comes in with, oh my God, is there an opposite of outfit of the week?
Flop
because
of the week.
This flop of the week, which is usually Susan, Bree comes in with the worst bun I have ever seen.
Well, I've written that because it's a really like neat and tight bun. Mm-hmm. So I think that she is very much in this mindset, especially in front of Andrew's lawyer, of, you know, perceiving everything to be put together. So she's like really tightening everything up.
It looks like you get hair donuts, and they were a big thing in the 90s, and it looks like she's just stuck one of them on her head. It's really bad. But she comes in with snacks for Andrew's lawyer, saying that guests get sandwiches. And when she leaves, Andrew calls his mum a bitch, and Emancipation Lawyer explains that the case is not going to be an easy one to win anymore. Her being an alcoholic was a bit of a smoking gun, but now that she's trying to better herself, it's not looking good. He advises Andrew that the best thing to do is for Andrew to convince Bree to let him go willingly, because the thing about showing up to a courtroom is that Bree is going to know how to present herself. And he's right. It's quite a good observation, this lawyer.
Yeah, he knows.
But what I find odd, it's something that you said. If he's doing a no-win, no-fee claim type of situation, if he doesn't go to court, would he still get paid?
I mean, if the plan is to not go to court, then it must be to set. I don't know.
I have no idea. Lawyers, are there any lawyer desperados that could let us know? I really hope that that's so weird, isn't it? That people listening, we have no idea what their professions are. Like,
let's get some data. What is the average? Let's send out a questionnaire to the desperado.
A little Google form.
Yeah, cute.
I hope someone is a marine biologist. I hope someone's a ventriloquist. I hope someone... what's my dream desperado profession? I hope someone is a writer for Desperate Housewives.
I mean, that's ultimately the goal. So, we have a grand return of a long-missed character, you guys. The piano is back.
I thought you were going to say the grand return of the grand piano, and I was...
Here we are, while I was alluding to it. We're at Betty's. She's playing the piano. Matthew asks Betty for $50. Why? Because he's 19, we learn. And that should be enough of a reason, he says. But Betty won't give him a dime without knowing what it's for. Essentially, he wants to buy Danielle a birthday gift. And Betty's reaction is so funny to me. She was all like cheerful and stuff, playing her music, and then her face just drops. And she drops her purse with this thud. She says, "Write her a poem. It's free."
A poem.
Matthew,
Yep.
No, go for
it. I did wonder if Betty is so afraid subconsciously of Matthew having another girlfriend because of what happened last time. So she just immediately rejects Danielle and everything about her because of it just reminding her of the worst thing that's ever happened to her.
She must have a lot of unresolved trauma around it, so
yeah.
Sure. But Matthew gets mad and an argument quickly escalates. So here's kind of like the bullet points. We learn that Betty doesn't let him get a job and that she views Caleb as full-time work. that Betty sees Caleb improving, but Matthew claims that she's just seeing what she wants to see. And Matthew thinks that they should put him away and get their lives back, which is, to be fair, probably the better than the situation they're in now.
It's hard not to be sympathetic towards Matthew here. And it feels like, yeah, of course, he's 19. He thinks his life has been ruined by, like, he's saying the actions of his brother have caused this complete derailment. His entire life is now dedicated to, in some way, taking care of Caleb. The only thing he really has is this relationship with Danielle to keep him going.
Totally.
And there is some care in there. Betty and Matthew don't want Caleb to know that they're having this conversation about him.
Yeah, because Caleb comes down wondering if they're fighting, and they kind of play it off as they're having a discussion. And Betty wants to make it look like things are all good, so they sort of haggle down to $20 for a gift for Danielle, explaining to Caleb that what Matthew wants money for.
Yes. Oh, I hated this scene. I hated it. Don't want to talk about it. Next. Bree is at the mall. She is drinking in the mall for some reason, and it seems like she's in the middle of a random clothes shop but getting bottles of wine. Is this meant to be like Debenhams, John Lewis, Harvey Nichols?
Let me tell you, Erin, I went to a little wine bar in a department store in Osaka once, and it was such a treat. They paired all the wines with chocolate. There was a chocolate festival going on in the department store. It was like such a lovely time. That was my main note for this.
I don't think... I mean, this is why they do it, obviously. I don't think inebriation is good for me in a shop.
Oh, for sure. That's how they get you.
It's the same... Yeah, it's like shopping when you're hungry for food and you start putting the most
like
random things.
When you go to like a really bougie department store and they're like, oh, would you like a glass of champagne? Or like a little boutique kind of thing. Or like when you're shopping for wedding dresses and stuff and they offer you that stuff.
Do you know when you know you're screwed anywhere is when you can't see the price?
Yes. Oh my God, no. I'm turning right around. I'm not even asking. I know it's pointless.
Leave. There's certain phrases that get me where I know I'm out of my depth. And the other one is when somebody says, would you like us to explain the menu to you? Nope. I'm out. Goodbye. Au revoir. And I don't mean in a way where it's like the other thing that I hate, which is the restaurants going, we do things a little bit differently here. No, that's your classic Wetherspoons. That's you're about to get horrendous service. Fine. We deal with it. The food will be average. But yeah, there's something about somebody who's like, will we explain the menu to you? Nope. I'm gone. So, Bree spots Andrew and Justin and storms over. Andrew is supposed to be grounded, but he has stolen his mum's credit card and he's trying to pay for things in the Macy's that is also a wine bar. Andrew then essentially is confronting Bree again, but starts to say something barbaric, which is he's going to testify that Bree has sexually abused him. Honestly, mic drop. I couldn't remember this specifically. I knew that Andrew had said some truly unforgivable things in the first couple of seasons on this show. I think it's not until you're older, perhaps, that you grasp the gravitas of that, really.
Yes, 100%.
Justin's in the back and looks, I think, rightly disgusted, despite the fact he's going along with what Andrew's saying. He looks horrified by this. And Andrew rightly mentions that people may say they believe Bree when he says this, but they will always wonder. Mm-hmm. So he yanks the credit card back and he runs off. Bree goes for another glass of wine and says that the bartender can leave the bottle. And I think it's the classic, like, we keep going back and forth with this, so forgive me if this is somewhat repetitive, but Andrew is a monster.
Oh, he is. He is. And quite frankly, you know that it's a first relationship for him and Justin, because if Justin had any experience of kind of knowing there are other options out there, he would not still be with Andrew.
Or any sense of self-preservation. Like, if somebody is capable of doing this, they're going to do this to you. And
it's a bad time.
Yeah. But Bree isn't a great mother. Also, but then it gets to the fact of, yes, Bree is not a great mother. Yes, Bree is homophobic. Does Bree deserve to go to jail for the sexual abuse of a child?
No.
Not when Gabby's right there.
Oh, here we are.
But the show does a good job of having us really understand why Bree is drinking. Because I hate seeing Bree drink at the moment, but when she asked for him to leave the bottle, there was a part of me that went, you know what, fair play, hen.
Same.
Fair play. Just, call yourself a cab.
I mean, Bree's going to be calling someone soon because we cut to her waking up on the floor of the fitting room in a dress she was trying on. Her hair is certainly not a tight bun anymore, and it's after hours. She's locked in, baby. The store has closed.
This is so funny because it was so clearly obvious that she was in the changing room when she passed out. And my headcanon is the minimum wage worker left her there on purpose. I know that for a fact. There is no way they didn't spot her. They checked the changing rooms before they leave and they were like, you know what? I'm not paid enough for this. Goodbye.
And I get it.
My name is, what is the name of Danielle's friend who has the mum who drinks in private? It begins with a T.
Tiffany? No.
No, because we said that she was Tiffany Axelrod's mum as well. We tried to link these people together.
Just be like Taylor?
Maybe
No.
Trinity? Why do I feel like it's something like regardless, I think it's her. I think she's the minimum wage worker and she's over it.
Fair. I get that. I see that and I respect the decision.
Thank you.
So we then cut to Bree later having changed back into her normal clothes, and she essentially takes a mannequin arm and tries to wedge the sort of metal gate barrier open and ends up getting trapped between the bars in the process, and eventually
she's in a saw trap.
She's in a saw trap. This is
Bree is in a saw trap. And Bree does not want to play a game. But I was thinking during this that this is one of those shows that's funny, so it can't do this. But there is a universe in Saw or something, or Final Destination, where this is how someone dies.
Oh yeah, big time. Big time.
Is Bree
sliced in half hot dog style?
I'm thinking about Bree and Saw, and it's so funny because she's like having to amputate her own limbs, and then she's tidying up after everyone.
She's like arranging the scalpel and all the utensils like perfectly before she begins.
Oh my god! And she's like, "This is not polite dinner conversation." So we see the AA facilitator waking up during the night. Bree has called him. And he goes to get her from Macy's with a security card. The security man, who is unhelpful, takes a little selfie with Bree in the gate. And it's before selfies were cool, so I was very impressed.
We're now in I keep saying the sponsors, but it's at this time still the facilitator. We're in the facilitator's car.
Very Hunger Games for you to be like, the sponsors.
Yes, the sponsor sends Bree a water via a little parachute to help her sober up.
Oh, also, I'm having biscuit tea.
Oh, slay. What a nice
It made me think of you. I was like, he's not here to drink the biscuit tea. I shall have to do it for
him. But you did
him.
give me biscuit tea, so in the next break, I will make a cup. We'll be there together.
Stunning.
Beautiful. So, we're in the facilitator's car now. Bree catches him up on the chat with Andrew and says, "It's no wonder I drink," as an offhanded comment. And the guy, in the gentlest way possible, describes the situation to Bree as he sees it as an outsider. And I think for the first time, I really think we see Bree have some small amount of self-realization. And she doesn't say aloud that she has a problem, but it's kind of like the look on her face and the acknowledgement that she doesn't like the person she is at the moment. And he says that he likes her just fine as she is. And it's really sweet, actually.
It's so tender. It really breaks my heart, and that it's so soft of her saying, I wish you could have known me when Rex was alive. The kids were young. Everything was the way it was supposed to be. I think you would have liked me so much. I
think just after the scene with Andrew, we needed like a nice heartwarming scene like this to balance it out.
Well, okay. I don't know if this was on purpose, but here's my take. I was so scared. And I don't know if this is where this goes. I really hope it doesn't, but it didn't this episode, and I'm so delighted. Bree is continuously exploited by men. continuously. She is in some ways emotionally exploited by Rex, and then we have George, and then we have Andrew. And I thought she has finally opened up to someone, and we see Danielle coming home, and there's a door open, and I thought, please say she didn't open up to him, and in this moment he's chosen to sleep with her, and Danielle's going to walk in on.
Do you not remember where the plot line with Peter goes? Oh, okay.
No, I don't remember at all.
Oh, that's exciting. I
know.
I vividly remember.
But in this moment, at least, I have to take this at face value.
Yeah. I
mean, I feel like they do end up sleeping together, but it's not. She's finally opened up to someone in this moment, and then this immediately happens after.
Yeah.
I was so scared. So yes, Danielle does come home. Very un-Danielle-like hair, by the way. Heads upstairs. The door is ajar. And Caleb is in her room. And Caleb, by the way, her room is so pink.
As you would expect.
Oh, yeah. Caleb says, happy birthday. And he has what I thought was a bit of tinsel, but seems to be in a hair clip or a brooch of some kind. I don't know if this is addressed later. I think he's taken this from Betty. I think this is Betty's. Danielle is dismissive, hits it out of his hands, and then says, didn't you hear me, you freak? Leave. And Caleb looks devastated, and Danielle looks scared. Again, obviously it's not nice for Danielle to be speaking to Caleb like this. She is a young girl. I do understand that a stranger is in her room. It is someone that she has now heard can turn violent and can turn obsessive. I get it. I don't think she handled it the best.
No, but you have to remember how young she is. And I don't know how well I would have handled that situation at that age.
No. I mean, I think about stuff like that all the time. I don't know if this is part of... I don't know if this is a normal thing, but as a kid, I used to always think of what I would do if somebody came to kidnap me or something, and me having to play along, and maybe I watch too much true crime.
I feel like I have gone down that thought path at times, but not something that really stuck with me, I guess.
I mean, I'm somewhat fortunate in that I shed my hair like a lion.
So I know for breadcrumbs.
I'm leaving my tracks behind. You're not going to get me without a
just
trace.
One really long hair. Everyone's going along like it's a safety rope.
Or I'm like a magician and I'm pulling a hair out of my sleeve. It's one of my arm hairs. It's very long.
Thank you for that visual.
You're welcome.
Let's move on.
If you must.
Oh my God, we're talking about Lynette now. Right, let's speedrun this because I really did not enjoy this plotline in the slightest. Lynette is in a meeting in her office with Veronica, another marketing girly that she's hoping to hire. Apparently, the money sucks. Stu must have really bled them dry. But Lynette is pointing out all of the other perks and offering donuts, etc., which Veronica is enjoying.
I really like the transition from the donuts at Bree's AA meeting to the donuts in the scene.
That was cute. That was cute.
I just thought that was nice. And I do love donuts. Jakub, what's your favourite type of donut?
Custard cream from Greg's. Or the custard-filled donuts from Greg's.
Oh, I really like plain glazed, obviously. Either Krispy Kreme or Marks and Spencer's. I really like Greg's jam donut as well. Not sponsored by Big Hole. No, Big Nut. No, Big Donut.
Erin, what's got you so horny today, Erin? My goodness.
I don't know. I thought it would be cute if I was, I thought Big Donut was
thought it'd be cute.
Also, this actress is another one who is in absolutely everything. She's in Romy Michelle's High School Reunion. She is in True Blood, which you didn't watch, but was oh wait, you did. You did watch True Blood.
No, I didn't.
I thought you watched all the clips online because it was dirty.
I've seen some of the dirty clips online. I would not say that I've watched it.
Yeah, fair enough. She's in Once Upon a Time, and she plays I think she plays Maleficent. Yeah, she plays.
I see that for her.
She plays Maleficent, and she does a
definitely
really
has
good
a
job.
villain face. And that's not a
Very.
dig, because villains are often very attractive. So,
Oh, let's make no mistake, this woman is smoking hot.
And
It's
Lynette,
actually quite intense.
yeah. And Lynette is also gagged at Veronica because she's watching her eat all these donuts and she still looks absolutely fabulous, which she attributes to breastfeeding helping her keep the weight off. The main perk, though, is the daycare. Apparently, in her previous job, people took issue with her breastfeeding in the office, which Lynette assures her won't be an issue here. Veronica takes the job, and Lynette lies about the spawn of Satan going mental in the daycare room being her own kids.
She's like, ooh, who are those? Oh, it's so weird. Veronica has a great ad pitch, and she's showing Lynette. Lynette goes to take a call from Tom, who is in New York, but it's fine. Veronica has to feed her child anyway. Lynette on the phone sees Veronica's son. She was clearly expecting a baby and not somebody who can legally vote. Okay, I jest, but the child is, we find out later the child is 5 years old. Ed and Lynette are both staring, looking a mixture of confusion and horror over what is happening.
My main note for this scene is when Lynette is like, I'm getting a call from Tom, and she's like, oh, don't worry, my nanny's here with my kid. And we see this nanny for like 2 seconds. She has no dialogue. She's not important, this nanny. But to me, she made such an impact on me. I thought she looked fabulous. And I want to say that I think that she is the Felicia of the nanny world. She had her like knitted shawl. She was so put together. And I just see her as like this like really like soft-spoken but strict, unhinged nanny. You know, I feel like I've got a whole side quest in my head that will never be explored.
No, we're putting her in the sideshow that we have with Brandy and her friends.
Yeah.
She's in there.
Forgot about that. What a fun time.
Time.
So that was my main note from this scene because I didn't want to focus on everyone staring at this woman breastfeeding.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Also, sorry.
No, you also.
I just put also Lynette loves a big collar.
And I love a big collar on Lynette.
Yeah.
I love a deep V on Lynette.
Say that.
I love her hair this season. I love the length of it. And I love her being able to dress up a little bit at work. It's just nice. Veronica is the type of person, when I said before that I imagined Lynette with a woman, Veronica is the type of woman I picture her with.
Yes. I mean, anyone who would make a good power couple, basically.
Exactly.
So we now essentially get a repeat of that scene. Veronica steps out of a meeting with her kid to breastfeed, and everyone in the meeting is gossiping about how weird they find it. Ed ropes Lynette into speaking to her about it since she's a woman, and quote, "It's easier for you to talk to her about milk and boobs and stuff." One of the staff says that he already made a pass at her that morning, so he can't talk to her.
Yuck.
It's the whole thing is just icky. And to be honest, I'm actually shocked at Lynette in this whole arc because I'm really surprised that she's not more like grossed out by all these guys, and she's hesitant and doesn't want to be the one to talk, but eventually she's kind of joking around with them, and it's like, I don't like it, and I just don't see it for Lynette.
I mean, yeah, it's weird. They give her some of the right lines, but the way she's responding is not correct. So she's saying, you shouldn't tell a mother how to raise their kid. It's an act of war. You shouldn't do that. And she offers, I think, some good potential solutions to the discomfort. She's saying, right, we'll make sure, tell her to have the door closed. We'll do this. That's Lynette. Her being like, fine, I'll talk to her about it. That's not Lynette to me. But we had to have that because what was the scene going to be? Ed confronting Veronica? No. Ooh. What do we think Tom's reaction to this would be?
Tom would probably just end up staring because he'd be like, oh, boobs.
Yeah, like the nanny.
Yeah.
It would be like the nanny. Yeah.
It'd be a very different arc if Tom was still in the office and not in New York.
I think a lot of people forget about the nanny, and I have never forgotten about the nanny incident, and I will never forget.
You'll be talking about it in season 8.
Yeah. I'll be like, and remember Claire the nanny? Yeah, I remember her name was Claire. So Lynette approaches Veronica, and I already feel sick. Lynette first is talking about expressing milk as an option. So clearly Lynette is going down the indirect route and trying to say, you know, if you express your milk, obviously then she won't have to breastfeed. I'm saying this to you, Jakub, because I'm not sure how familiar you are with breastfeeding.
I understood from the context.
Great. She's doing it as if she's like offering some sort of motherly advice, but Veronica's clearly had a lot of backlash about this before. And Veronica starts spitting facts. She starts talking about different cultures and different ages for breastfeeding to stop and how it can help. Some studies say that it can help children have a higher IQ. She basically shows Lynette her own children in the daycare, causing chaos, and her own genius baby child being chilled out and reading, going, Veronica says, if you'd weaned your kids later, they'd be more civilized.
And I was on her side here. I'm like, fair. You deserve to get a dig in.
And says, if anybody has a problem, she's prepared to lawyer up. And Lynette says, ouch. But I do feel weirdly that she has this expression of respect on her face for Veronica
she's
coming to her.
Clearly not genuinely mad about it.
I think it's nice for Lynette to see someone who is in a similar job to her, who is a mother, who is equally good at her job, equally passionate about motherhood as well, and equally being able to like argue passionately with someone like that.
Also, this firm certainly cannot handle another lawsuit, so like
Certainly
they
not.
got to be sidestepping this very carefully.
This is an impossible thing to weigh in on, and they kind of take the choice out of our hands, which is quite smart, I think, the writers, because yes, Veronica's bringing up excellent points. Yes, some people do follow a more child-guided approach as to when to stop breastfeeding. Yes, there can be social implications for the child if they are at school, for example, and they're still breastfeeding. Feels ridiculous to me, frankly, to comment on what I would do as a mother and as someone who doesn't have children. But my instinct is, personally, once they can talk and bite me, the kid's got to go, preferably to boarding school.
And that would be your choice.
Get them out of here. But I think what's interesting with this arc is I think what they do later is kind of make the choice for us. But we'll get there.
We will. Veronica's kid is looking for her, and Lynette is laying in wait like a predator. And she has plans to drug this child. Drug him. Drug him with sugar.
Which we just know Paul Young has invested in.
I wonder if that's where she got her chocolate milk from.
It's time to buy sugar. I can't stop thinking about that, actually.
Oh my God. Essentially, she pulls the child aside and offers him some chocolate milk, clearly in an attempt to put him off of breast milk.
This is honestly, I think, the worst thing Lynette has done so far.
It's pretty bad. I mean, I feel like at first glance, it doesn't seem like a huge deal. But when you think about it,
this is a massive deal.
It's kind of wild.
Massive deal. Also, if a child has never had anything like that before and they're not being monitored, this could easily be a milk allergy. We don't know how this could have went. Also, giving a child something they're not allowed to have, a child something
is all bad.
It's also really bad to encourage a child to kind of keep secrets from their parents. It's bad, Lynette. And the reason I'm doubling down so hard is because I know I'm a Lynette apologist, but this was bad.
I do think this is her worst episode so far, for sure.
Yeah. So we see Veronica crying. Lynette approaches. And Lynette's little plan has worked because Veronica's son is no longer wanting to be breastfed. He's tasted that chocolate milk and he's not going back. Veronica, however, isn't crying because of the relationship with her son, but because she won't be able to lose weight breastfeeding anymore. So this is what I mean when I say the writers kind of take the difficult decision out of our hands here.
I don't know if I agree though, because I kind of didn't like that choice because they're making it seem almost they're trying to turn it into a comedy arc.
Yes, I agree.
Lynette's decision making here, the way they were treating her for breastfeeding and stuff, that doesn't make it okay just because of Veronica's motivations. And it really
I completely
bothered
agree.
me. Yeah.
I completely agree. But again, they are trying to take the question of the episode out of the audience's hands by making it go, well, Veronica wasn't even acting in the best interest of the child anyway. She was doing it for selfish reasons. Just to make basically
two things
Lynette
can be true though, or three or four things, because of all the points she made earlier that breastfeeding can be good to do it later. So
exactly, and ultimately, what Lynette says at the beginning of the episode is correct. If you're not harming your child, and you are you're getting involved in someone else's parenting, and the child's not in danger, and the child is safe, and the child is happy. But the worst thing that's come out of this entire episode is now Veronica has to join the gym.
Back in the dodgy adoption guy's office, Gaby is complaining about his service. But the guy makes it clear it's very difficult to find someone of Gaby's expectations that's willing to give up their baby this sort of more questionable way to a couple who have committed several crimes. So
I love that he brings that up. He's like, a couple with a criminal record.
And he has, however, as a last resort, invited another girl who he describes as attractive but not a, quote, quality person. He comes back up with Libby, a very conventionally attractive girl who looks to be in her late 20s, maybe, heavily pregnant, and Gaby is hyped. This is what she's been looking for.
Oh.
Do you know what my main note on this scene, Erin? Once again, can you guess?
Is it Gaby's outfit?
Yes, once again, red is not Gaby's color. Didn't enjoy it at all.
Painful when I'm wearing red.
You're not Gaby, though.
Is red my color?
So what happens next, Erin?
Picking up the pace, Erin. So this is why I'm afraid to wear color. Okay. This is also rude because the whole thing is clearly unethical and they're taking vulnerable people, and Gaby's just mad that they're not in peak health and in full glam in the middle of the day. It's horrendous. We get a scene where we get to know Libby. Libby is an exotic dancer in an exotic dancing establishment, but her big dream is to become a choreographer. Libby invented a new move called, let me just make sure I got this right, the serpent's tongue. And Carlos is keen to visit the establishment to endorse Libby's dream, but Gaby is less enthused by Libby's dream. Libby says, and this is important, that she has no idea who the father of the baby is. Carly are keen to move forward and adopt the baby, who we find out is a little girl. Libby is seeing dollar signs everywhere. 2005 dollar signs.
So not worth that much.
No. And shady adoption goatee lawyer clarifies that buying a baby is technically illegal. However, Libby will submit expenses that will be reimbursed. That's not enough for our girl. She wants presents, and she sees Carlos's, I'm guessing, expensive watch and Gaby's wedding or engagement ring, and she is hitting AutoSum on Microsoft Excel, and she's adding up all the things that she can get out of this. Libby has to go back to the exotic dancing club, but first she wishes goodbye to, quote, Mr. and Mrs. Soulless, which is the most appropriate thing, the most appropriate name for this couple at this point. Libby thought they were Italian, but basically, happy Pride Month because Carlos has to come out as Mexican. And that's the scene.
Yeah. And I mean, Libby's response to them being Mexican is very like, oh, okay. It's just a bit like, oh. I also didn't like that, they want her to seem like not a quality person. And obviously we come to learn that maybe she's not the best person. But in this scene, we know very little about her. And I just don't like that it's like, so obviously she's a stripper. you know.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. And also, again, it's almost like they're going, oh, but she isn't as vulnerable as all the other girls in this dodgy agency. She is equally vulnerable.
Yeah. Anyway,
Gross.
remember ages ago when the girls were over at Susan's for a catch-up?
Anyway, remember ages ago.
We're jumping back.
Aye.
So before Carl came in, Gaby was catching up the girls on the adoption chat, showing off a picture of Libby and excited for the beautiful genes that her kid will inherit. She also flags that she knows Libby is athletic because she's a pole dancer. So she really hopes that her kid will inherit that. The athletic gene, not the pole dancing gene.
How funny would it be? And again, this is the same joke over and over again on this show, because isn't there the Lynette line ages ago where she's like, she's going to become a stripper?
Oh, yeah. I remember. Anyway, that's when Carl comes in to take Susan away for a chat. Though we're not covering that again because I couldn't possibly. I would die.
Do we think Bree is so horrified by this information because she recognizes Libby from the strip club she caught Andrew at?
Well, we do in an upcoming episode see the strip club she works at.
See,
no, it's in this
episode.
episode. I know.
Oh.
Yeah, no, just for the Desperados' benefit so they know what's going on. I'm quite far ahead in my notes, so I've seen the next 3 episodes. So I'm like, sneak preview, baby. But I do wonder when we see it in a future episode, I'm like, is this topsy-turvy? Anyway.
Yeah, let's find out. Gaby is doing what all villains do in all of media, which is pouring a ridiculously large glass of milk. Like, it's a very horror movie thing, isn't it? I'm thinking about Get Out. I'm thinking there's another one with like Christoph Waltz, I think, where he's drinking large amounts of milk. When Carlos gets a phone call, Libby doesn't want the baby to have Mexican parents. And I can't lie. Gaby is awful here, but she is darn funny.
And we get a notorious quote as well. So this is a great scene in a lot of ways.
So she's saying that is illegal. She can't do that because of the color of our skin. And Carlos points out they were rejecting mothers because of their appearance. Gaby says my quote of the week, which is, I've read the Constitution and it does not protect ugly people.
Oh, she's awful. I love it.
And Gaby is determined that this is the baby she wants, and she's going to have that racist baby, damn it.
She sure is.
If it's the last thing she does.
We're in what is potentially topsy-turvy. We don't know. It didn't look like it in this scene. It's out of hours, though. Libby is mentoring a younger pole dancer to Don't Ya buy Pussycat Dolls. So I'm having a nice time watching this scene.
That was my first note. Immediately know that Jakub's going to have something to say about the Pussycat Dolls.
Gaby turns up in this rich bitch ensemble. Powder pink blazer and hair all done up. She looks like one of the Chanels from... oh my God, what's
Scream
that?
Queens.
Scream Queens, yes.
This is high body count hair once again.
This is high body count hair. Once
you know
again,
it when you see it.
You know it when you see it. Get into Real Houses of Salt Lake City, people. Libby denies being racist while simultaneously being racist.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's clear that her plan all along was to squeeze more money out of Gaby and Carlos, that she didn't really care that they were Mexican.
Yeah, she's doing a shady deal alongside her shady deal.
Yes.
And Gaby finds out she isn't getting a racist baby. She's getting a manipulative baby.
Yeah, so, choose your battles. Choose your fighter.
Choose your baby.
Choose your baby, literally. Gaby ends up giving Libby her necklace that she's wearing and making it clear that she'll get a lot more than that if she can have her baby. And Libby
Lynn's fuming somewhere. And who's the latest maid?
Zhao Mei.
Yeah, Zhao Mei's also fuming because she had the obsession with the bracelet.
And she's like, I wanted that necklace. I was coveting that necklace. Libby is back on board with the baby sale. They agree not to tell the shady adoption lawyer their arrangement. I guess they're getting him out of his cut of the deal or whatever. I don't know. But it's clear that Libby is smarter than she seems. Basically.
Yes.
And that's the arc.
Mary Alice voiceover. At the precise moment as Dr. Hanson Mills was cutting yet another umbilical cord.
Busy day.
I know. Other ties were being severed all over town. like the one between the child and the mother who didn't want him to grow up so quickly, Veronica and her son, or the one between a fine case of sorry, this just made me laugh, or the one between a case of fine wine and that housewife who hadn't wanted to admit she had a problem. The reason this made me laugh is because we see Bree donating her wine to charity. Can you do that? You can't do that in the UK. It says Goodwill on it, which is I don't think we're not allowed to do that. Anyway, she's clutching a bottle of wine, a bit like a baby, which I thought was interesting. Or the one between a woman and the boyfriend who couldn't forgive her betrayal. Dr. Ron on the phone to Susan. So I think it's clear that this is not going to go anywhere. The choice to separate from what we love is painful. And we're at the strip club and a man approaches Libby from behind, saying, "How are both of my girls?" We're doing good. We're doing really good. The only thing worse is when someone we trusted makes the choice for us. Now, Jakub, you've seen ahead, so I can't really bounce too far with you on this. Do we think Libby is hustling the Solises, or the man, or both?
When I watched this episode for the first time, I'm really not good at like analyzing and reading between the lines and stuff. So I just took it at face value and went, "Oh, that's the father," and that was my take in the moment. Yeah.
That's fine.
But to be honest, I did have a vague recollection of where the story went even before watching the episodes recently. So
yes. Oh.
Season 2 is probably my most watched season,
and it's my least.
So there we are. So I'm pretty familiar.
Who is your worst neighbor, baby boy?
Oh, I've not thought about this in the slightest.
Do you want me to go? Because I have it.
Yeah, go for it.
Mine is Carl, because he's making Mike work out of hours plumbing, and he did that, and it's messing with his day. And in terms of neighborness, that's just not very neighborly.
I keep forgetting that Carl counts as a neighbor since he lives at Edie's, but you're so right for that, babe. Oh my God.
And dare I goes far to say that on top of that, him watching his... when we get to the husbands, him watching his wife who's in a wheelchair in the street on the ground and not rushing to go and get her is not being a good husband, and you're getting marked down, Carl, baby. I don't care how fine you are.
See, if he'd just taken his shirt off during the dinner, we could have like put that ranking back forgiven. Up. Yeah.
I don't think this is okay.
I think I agree with you on worst neighbor. My monster of the week has got to be Lynette. I mean,
I thought you were going to say breasts.
The breasts, there was no issue with the breasts. They were doing their job.
They were doing their job. I think
or possibly Andrew, actually.
I think my monster of the week is Andrew.
Yeah, what Andrew did was worse. Yeah.
Just a little.
I think so.
Anytime Andrew does something horrendous and unforgivable, there is a part of my back of my head and I'm like, "Oh, but his mum's homophobic." So I feel like I let him away with a lot.
Okay, so husband rankings. Tom's not in it.
Okay, Tom's not there, so he is spared. Tom doesn't get marked when he's not there.
He did the best he could. He left.
Yes, exactly. We have said that exact thing before. And I love that.
It again. Okay.
One more time.
Carl. Carl's got to get a low score this week.
Carl's getting low.
All he's done is sabotage his wife for the whole episode. He did agree to the dinner, so he can have a point for that.
No, you don't get a point for that. That's neutral.
I'm not going to give him 0 because there's people who've done so much worse.
No, I'm starting him at 5 and moving him down.
Yes, okay.
So I'm putting him at a 2 or a 3.
Yeah, I think a
3.
Yeah.
Because I do think he genuinely knows that Dr. Rod is not right for Susan, but I do think he's doing it all for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
And also he's still, we're not talking about him with Edie, but he's still not told Edie any of this. It's so bad. Yeah. Carlos.
Right, hang on. Let me think of this from a husband perspective, because if I think of it from a human perspective, that's a different story.
Carlos isn't doing great for me either.
I mean, they kind of end up on the same team, though.
Yes, but he does try and convince Gaby to go to the strip club with him to see the future mother of his child in her weird sex moves.
Okay. I do think, though, that Carl was worse as a husband this week. So I think we got to go 4 if we're ranking
4.
3. Yeah.
I think 4.
Okay.
But yeah, horrible person. Okay, husband. That's the Carlos Solismo.
Fab. Okay, and that's all the husbands, I guess.
But do we mark Mike?
I don't think we do. What would you give him? What would you give Mike?
I mean, it's a 5. I'm sorry, it is. I mean, I wanted to, I think him apologizing and admitting his mistakes and stuff was sweet. And I appreciate that. That's average. He does make a bit of a, he's a wee bit annoyingly macho and aggressive, and I didn't like that, but also I kind of get it because he does say specifically it looked to him like Ron hurt her on purpose.
Yeah. I would go as far as
5.
to give him a point for that, but then only take it down a notch because he's trying to sabotage Susan's current partner. So I would say 6 personally, if we're ranking Mike.
Yeah, fine. Let's give him a 6.
He's
because
not
let's
doing
just not give him a 5
like usual, yeah.
A 5 every episode, my boy. Yeah, those are all the husbands. Those are our neighbors. My outfit of the week is the worst outfit of the week, which is just Bree's bun in general. The best outfit, I think that person
the
who
nanny for me.
Oh, for me, the stripper was correct that Gaby was in fact wearing a kicking outfit.
Rich bitch ensemble.
Rich bitch ensemble. Nice ensemble. And that's season 2, episode 17.
Hey, there we are.
Thank you so much for having us.
Fine.
It was an okay time.
We hope you had at least an okay time as well.
It was the finest of times. It was the okayest of times. I'm really excited. The arc that I'm most excited for right now is I just need to work out what's going on with Danielle and Caleb and Matthew and Betty.
I'm pretty sure that's the finale end game of the season.
Yeah.
So you'll have a wee wait for that. I'm most excited about the Bree and Andrew dynamic, I think. Because
I'm scared, honestly.
I'm scared
don't want to watch it.
But it's always fascinated me because I think
Yes.
it's just one of the more interesting dynamics with characters that I care about. So
Yeah. I want to leave the room when they're interacting though, because I get so nervous. Oh, but yes, thank you so much for listening. Thank you to our patrons. Thank you to Jakub for sorting out this new fancy tech setup.
hopefully it sounds okay.
Woo! Thank you to Maggie for existing.
As always.
We must always
Stay
desperate. Oh, I'm sorry. I did that so well. You were like, Steve desperate. It's so cute.
It was
I was
an
like,
okay
desperate.
episode. It was an okay outro.
That's what we should have done for the intro. We should have just gone do 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 do.
Yeah, maybe I'll loop that back in. We're recording this at the end of the episode. You're hearing it in the past. You'll understand why.
Welcome
that's
to the past.
theme song when you get to the end. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Love you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Be sure to check out our Instagram for visuals, behind the scenes content, and more.
You can find us by searching for Modded, that's MEWDYD.
Or just search for Mary Alice, What Did You Do?
This podcast is brought to you entirely by us, Erin McGee
and Jakub Tanzi. If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to leave us a review. It really helps us out.
Join us next time for another episode of Mary Alice,
What Did You Do?